So today we are going to discuss various modes of, I think it is asexual reproduction, but it is very specialized. It occurs in plants only, clear, and there's here there is no specialized structures. Here no specialized structures are formed in this mode of asexual reproduction. The vegetative structures which are there in the plant body, normally they develops into new plant. So it is called vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation is a term used exclusively for the plants where the normal plant structures, normal vegetative structures, no specialized structures. In asexual reproduction, we have seen that in certain organisms like spores, then birds, the specialized structures are formed and which develops into new individual. But in vegetative propagation, there is no specialized structures, exclusively used for plants. The term is exclusively used for plants, and the normal vegetative structures like root, stem, leaf, clear, they only give rise to new plant. So we will discuss today how this vegetative propagation occurs in plant, and what about and there is another very interesting term which is called tissue culture. We will discuss that also here. Now students, already we have discussed the vegetative propagation. Now what is vegetative propagation? We have discussed that certain vegetative parts, like it may be leaf, it may be stem, it may be root, which may give rise to new plant. Now you can see in potato tuber, I think you have seen in potato tuber, the small buds appear. Clear, small buds are there in the potato tuber, and if you keep that, take a piece of that potato or the whole potato with that particular bud containing that bud, and you put it in a moist soil, clear, you will find that it will develop into new plant. So here the nothing but the potato tuber is a stem, so stem is giving rise to new individual. Clear, these adventitious buds in the stem, they are these buds in the stem, they are giving rise to new individual. So another thing we'll find that in here in bryophyllum, the leaf, clear, the bryophyllum, we know that their bryophyllum, they have a curved edge, and these notches, clear, they often develop small buds, and this leaf, when falls on a moist soil, these buds develops roots, and finally they ultimately develops into small plantlets. And if we separate these plantlets and grow into new, they may grow into, or if they get normal moist soil in this area, they may get into new plant. So here you can see that leaf, not only the stem in tuber, potato tuber, leaf can also give rise to new individual. So this is the normal structures of the plant which are giving rise to new individual. This is called vegetative propagation. Now these characteristics of vegetative propagation are extensively used in agriculture and horticulture. Clear? These characteristics of vegetative propagation, that means a new plant which can develop from a plant part, is extensively used in horticulture and agriculture. Certain procedures which are extensively used and artificially the plants are propagated through their vegetative structures are layering. Now what happens in layering? You will find that the branches which are very close to the base of the plant, these branches often are put under the soil, or they grows under the soil, and the region where they grows under the soil, the nodes of those regions develops into roots, and finally the apex, that shoot apex, comes out of the ground and grows upward, clear, vertically upward. And if we detach this plant from this region, this individual has the capability to grow a new plant, because already it has got the roots has grown from the nodes, and now the shoot apex is there, so it has the capability to grow a new plant. So this is called layering. So branches from the basal region of the plant moves to certain part horizontally or just sub-horizontally into the ground, then moves vertically upward, and in this area where it is moving sub-horizontally into the ground, they develops the roots from the nodes, and so they can grow into a new plant. They have the capability to grow a new plant. So another one is grafting. What is done in grafting? In grafting, two plants, obviously they will be same species, if clear, are taken, and now for suppose I want a plant which may have very nice flower and disease free, but I don't have these two plants, those plants which may have very pink flower and should be disease free, but I have separate plants. One is disease free but the flowers are not pink, the color which I don't want, and other is having very pink fine flower which I want, but it is not disease free. It is very susceptible to diseases and get diseased often. And so I want to combine these two beneficial characters, that is disease free as well as fine floral character, into a single plant. Now what should I do? I should cut obliquely the plant which is disease free, clear, will be taken as the base basal plant, and the plant with the floral character, with our the floral character which we want, clear, the plant which is having the floral character which we want, they will be there. In from that plant we will take the apex region, and next we will put them with the oblique sides one upon another. We may keep some moist substances along with some nutrients here, and tightly bind it, and after certain period I will find that they grows into a single plant. So here we can see that, and finally, so the base which is taken is not a very character which is exposed, so this is called stalk, and the character which is exposed is taken as scion. Now what is the advantage is that this is a very common, vegetative propagation is a very common mode of propagation in the plants where we don't find any seeds, or where the seeds are very rare, or they have capability, or they have lost their capability to produce the seeds. In those cases, these are the main mode of reproduction. Clear? And another important thing is that in vegetative propagation, the plants are forming from the mother plant only. Clear? And so they are very exactly alike. They are exactly alike to the mother plant, and we don't need any specialized structures. Clear? So this, and we can even combine the structures which we want. Clear? And so it is very beneficial for agricultural purposes or horticultural purposes. So these are the advantages of vegetative propagation. We are going to discuss about tissue culture. Here, tissue culture, it is actually the cells have a potential, especially the cells from the growing region have a potential to grow a new individual. Clear? So what is done in this process is that the cells from these growing regions are taken, growing tips are taken. Clear? Now they are kept in a nutrient medium which contains all the nutrients which are required in form of salts, which are required for this particular plant to grow. and this portion which is taken is called explant. Now what will happen, we will see that this explant will divide and redivide and proliferate to form a unorganized mass of cells which is called callus. Now if we keep this callus or transport this callus into a new medium containing all the nutrient medium as well as hormones like auxin. Auxin initiates root formation. Auxin initiates root formation. Cytokine initiates shoot formation. So if we transfer this callus into a medium containing all such hormones, clear, which can help in differentiation, we'll find that they will form small plantlets. And these plantlets, if we take separately and grow them in the soil, they will grow into new plants. So it is a very useful technique for micropropagation, that means to grow similar kind of numerous plants from a small part of the plant, and it is very significant to grow a disease-free plant from a plant which is totally diseased, because you are taking the tips where the cells are newly formed cells which are not diseased. So if you take the tips and grow like this, so therefrom the plant which will form, that will be free of diseases. Especially to grow the disease-free plants from the diseased ornamental plants, this is a very unique technique. Clear? So tissue culture is very unique. And so students, what we want to discuss now is another very interesting thing, that's tissue culture. Now already we know what are tissues. Tissues are nothing but some groups of specialized cells for a particular specific function. Now, so mainly the tissues which are present in the growing region, you can easily understand that these cells have a capability to grow a total organism, because they can differentiate into leaf, they can differentiate into other parts. So they have a high degree of capability to differentiate and to produce various types of cells and various organs. So in tissue culture, what is done, these parts, the cells from this part are taken from the plant. Here we are taking small plants, small tissue from the growing tips, clear, and we are putting them in a medium which contains all the nutrients in the form of salts. Clear? Now this part which is taken and kept in the medium is called explant, is sterilized and kept in the medium. Now it will absorb the nutrient from the medium and it will start dividing. When it will divide, it will form an unorganized mass of cells which is called callus. So callus is an unorganized mass of cells which are produced by the division of this explant. So here there is no differentiation, you can see there is only a mass of cell. Now we can transfer them into another medium which contains the hormones like auxin for root initiation, cytokinin for shoot initiation, and like on. So when they are transformed transferred in the medium containing these nutrients and hormones, they will start differentiating into roots and shoots, and that will develop the plantlets, small plantlets. Now when these plantlets are transferred to the soil, they can grow into new plants. So this is very much useful technique, clear, where minimum space, minimum time, and we can produce a lot of similar plant from a small part of the plant. So this is called micropropagation, where we can produce lots of similar plants, preferably the clones, from a small piece of plant part, clear, growing tips. So, and it is very significant for we can utilize this for producing a disease-free plant from the diseased one. Now, if we take the tips, growing tips, these cells are newly formed cells, so they are generally free of diseases. So when their plant is totally diseased plant, if we take the tips and grow in like manner, we can get a plant which is free of disease, and this technique is very much useful for propagating the ornamental plants which are diseased. Clear? In that cases, we can get a disease-free plant from that of the diseased plant. So which is very much useful for propagating those plants. So thus we have seen that vegetative propagation and this tissue culture is of immense importance in plant, in agriculture, and as well as in horticulture industries, and also for natural development of plants also.